So once in a while, I like to do these compilation videos where I'm just showing you current gear that I've gotten or gear that I've been using a ton lately. Based on the performances of videos like this that I've done in the past, it seems like you guys really like these kind of videos. So if any of the comments in those past videos are any indication, then let me tell you now, make sure your credit cards are handy and nearby. Now, I don't have a lot of stuff for this video, but the stuff I do have is pretty awesome. And all of them, except for one product, there's just not enough about that product for me to do a full dedicated review on. So I figured let's just gather them all together so I can show you what I've been using lately. So let's just get to it. So first up are these armrests from Primo Workz that I got at the Southeast Adventure Vehicle Expo this year. We were walking around the Save Expo like on the last day, and I was itching to buy something because I usually like to buy something from every expo that I go to. And we walked by the Primo Workz booth and they were demonstrating this armrest. Now the way this works is this is a soft padded thing up here, and there's a little tab here that you probably can't see because of this fabric, and you slide this into the slot where your window goes up and down, and then you bend this to, depending on how your door might be, so that when you slide it into that slot, it just sits kind of flat, and then you can rest your arm on it as you're driving. Now they were running a really good special at the expo that I was like, you know what, I'll buy it. It's affordable enough, and I figured that I'll try it out, but in a couple of months it might just end up somewhere in my garage. Here's the thing though, I had a 6-hour drive home from the expo, so I placed this into the Jeep, and then I was driving home with my arm on it like this, and halfway through my drive I was thinking to myself, man, I actually really like this a lot. Like, it was much better than just resting your arm on your door. You can just kind of allow your hand to just relax. And then I get home, I check Instagram, and I found that a lot of the people I knew who also bought this at the expo was like posting reels about it, saying this was like one of the most awesome things. I liked it so much I ended up buying their other version just so that I can put it on the passenger side. There's two versions, one with a cup holder and one without, and these come in two different colors each. It comes in full black like this, or like a tan olive drab green type of color. Just check their website and you'll see the different options that are there. It also comes in two different kind of fabrics, the ripstop and the full canvas. This one is the one I originally bought. It has like this Velcro on the front. You can put your own patches on it if you'd like. Has this one huge pocket here that I found really convenient, because I would normally just put like my car registration or like passes like for national parks. That way if I ever need to get it, it's already just right there. I don't have to dig in my glove box. And then there's two slit pockets here where you can, you know, maybe put a pen. Sometimes like I'll put receipts here, but you can pretty much put anything in these that you'd like, that you want handy near you. This one has a cup holder. So for those of you that want an extra cup holder, you could put it up here, and and then there's a small pocket next to that, and then one pocket here where I usually will put like some EDC stuff. And this works basically on any vehicle. You just basically bend this so that it fits whatever vehicle you have. So I talked to the guys at Primo Workz recently. I mean, they're great people. They're a mom and pop. I'm hoping that they come out with other variations with different kind of configurations and pockets. I will say that the one issue I told them about was I feel like this tab isn't deep enough, where sometimes when I slam the door, this just kind of falls off of it. And they said they're aware of that issue and they're trying for a way to fix it, because I can't necessarily just make it longer or it'll interfere with your window going up and down. So they are thinking of other ways to make sure that it's more secure. Once it's on though and you're resting your arm, it's not gonna fall off. It's only when I would like slam the door of the Jeep, it just somehow when I roll my window up and down, it doesn't come out either. It stays. But check them out, because I'm really liking this. Again, one of those products that you might overlook or underestimate, and then you get it and you're like, how did I not have this before? Now up next is a product I am going to do a full review on. In fact, that video comes out next week, and it's for the Lightranger 2000. Some of you have probably seen my review and the ads that Devos put out that had me in it of the Lightranger 1200. This is one of those lights that became really popular with the overland community just because it's so compact, and you put it on a stand that goes up, I don't know, like 9 feet, 10 feet high, and it gives you just so much coverage. And they recently upgraded that to the 2000, which is even more powerful as far as light output. It's really blinding, like, oh my god. You can dim it down by continuing to press the other buttons, and it'll just kind of go down to 1 or 2 or 3 different lights. They also have a new feature where if you press the other button, it changes color, so you can go from white to amber to even red, and then back to white again. Now they also upgraded the stand that it comes with. I mean, it's a lot more robust. It's way more stable, way stronger than the previous stand that they had. And it also goes up pretty high, like I believe 9 or 10 feet as well. This thing comes with a bunch of different accessories like extra power banks. It also comes with like motion sensors if you want to buy that. They're all separate stuff that you can buy to kind of build up the system. Trust me, it provides so much coverage at camp that it can really become your one and done light. A full review video will be coming out next week, and I'll go over all the features, all the specs and everything. But for now, I did just want to show you guys just how awesome this light is and why I've been using it on every single trip. Now speaking of lights, I got this really interesting camp light from a company called Novsight. If you want to bring a light with you, but you don't want to bring something that's like humongous and you want something that's more compact, this might do the trick. There's different mounting solutions for this. Like you can pretty much put this light wherever you want. This is like the full setup here, but this diffuser comes off, and then you can take it off the tripod here and then just use this light by itself. It reminds me of like ditch lights, the kinds you put on your windshield. Yeah, that's what this looks like. You can set this down on the table. It articulates, so you can kind of shine it whichever way you want. There's a hook down here, and you can hang this like on a, like on an awning or whatever, and have it pointing down, and you can have light that way. You can screw this onto a tripod or screw it into the tripod that they give you. And then this tripod is also extendable. You extend the legs, tighten up these knobs here, and then you'll be able to have a much taller light. You could also use the diffuser, and you'll have a much, like a more pleasing glow and a more spread out kind of light. But you can also just turn it up like this, and now you have a lamp that you can put in the middle of a table in your tent. There are 2 modes of lights on here. Well, actually 3 technically. The warm light is right here on the left, and if you turn that on, you'll see that it's like disgustingly bright. And then if you want cool, you can do the white like that, or you can do both and kind of adjust your color temp however you'd like. Below those 2 knobs, there's this little button here. If you press that, you get a red light down here. These lights at the top, its highest setting 1500 lumens, so it's plenty. And then up here you have a USB port. This is how you charge this thing back up, or you can also use this as a power bank and charge up other devices. I personally am not going to do that. I don't need my light to be like a power bank. I mean, in a pinch, if all of your batteries have been exhausted and you need to charge up your phone, I mean, I guess you can use that as a last minute thing. Now, if I'm being 100% candid with you guys, I haven't really brought this out for camp because I've been bringing out the Devos Lightranger, and that's the only, that's the one and done light that I've been using. But I have been using this. I've been using it here in the studio. If you've seen some of my past reviews and I'm doing product shots, a lot of those are being lit up by this thing. So it's been a great product shot kind of light. But this is great for all of you who don't want to bring, if you don't want to bring those big camp lights, get like a couple of these and you can pretty much put them around camp. Alright, up next is a piece of gear that I reviewed not too long ago. This is the DMOS Nomad Mini Shovel. I'm trying not to laugh, not because of the product, but because when I released that video, a lot of people were like, what kind of shovel is that? This is not the shovel that's gonna get you out of sticky situations. This is not gonna be your recovery shovel. Think about it the way you might think of when it comes to blades and knives. You might have a machete, you might have a fixed blade that's like this long, and then you might have a pocket knife. You're not using one of those for everything. So I understand you're going to have bigger shovels in the vehicle, but this is great for all the smaller tasks. I use this when like I'm needing to dig out like a small hole for like a fire. If I need to move logs around, I would use this rather than trying to find another stick. There's also a good poop shovel. Don't knock it. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you have some of those like folding shovels that are from Amazon that are like super cheap, and if you've had the same experiences with them as I have where they just easily break, like this is not going to break. I mean, it's welded really nice. I mean, even the details on something like this, something small like this, even the welds around it are like super clean. I just wish that this came in other colors. Right now it only comes in this anodized blue, but I think this is just a really cool little shovel to kind of have around just for those smaller tasks. So up next is the Outln Nano. This is a portable electric espresso machine. And if you're wondering why I'm recommending something to you guys that's still in its box, well, funny story about that. The company had sent this to me months ago. And as I always do when I get products, I usually try to use it first before I review it. Well, I was using it and my father-in-law came by the house and saw it, and he loved it so much that he took it with him. I ended up just giving it to him as a present, and I just bought one directly from the company so that I can show it to you in this video, and so that I have one now also. My father-in-law is one of those guys who loves being on the road, and he found that this was super convenient because he can have coffee anytime he wants and basically make it without having to plug anything in. Packaging on this is really nice. There's all these instructions inside of this box. It also gives you like a quick sheet. You got more instructions right here, some stickers, and then everything that you need is in this box. As you can see, it's really small, very compact, easy to carry around. So this can go with you even if you're backpacking, hiking. It doesn't have to be just overlanding and camping. Right on the back, you have your USB-C port. This is how you charge this thing back up, and you do get a USB-C cable. Right on the front is the power button along with your light indicators. This will basically light up as you're brewing the coffee to let you know that it's ready, or you can also use this to see how much power is left on this thing. It's super simple. Just take off the coffee cup that's attached to it, and then you unscrew this part here, and inside this cup you'll get two different filters. Well, you get two different kind of filters, one for coffee capsules and then one for ground coffee. So whichever one you're running, that's what you put inside this thing. So for coffee grounds, you get this. You just open this up like this, take the little cup that it comes with, fill that up with your ground coffee, put it in there, and then kind of use that to press it down into place and make sure that it's compact. Go ahead and put the cover back on like this, and then put it back on to this part right here, and go ahead and put that in there and make sure that this thing is tight, because the first time I used it, it kind of exploded on me and all the coffee grounds were everywhere. So make sure that this thing is super tight. Get your cup, put it back on like this, and then at the top, fill that up with water. If the water is boiled already, like it's already hot, then press the button for 5 seconds and then rapidly press it 2 times to start extracting, and it'll automatically just start extracting your espresso for you. If you didn't put hot water in there, press this button for 2 seconds until you hear the beep, and then the lights will start going as this thing starts to heat up. When it starts to heat up and it starts to boil, then it'll start to extract, and the lights will let you know that it's ready. And then once it's finished extracting, just open this up and you now have espresso in a cup. And that's why my father-in-law loved it so much. He would take this to the gym, he would take it in his vehicle, and anytime he wanted coffee, he was just making it right by his side in his cup holder, and he already had espresso ready to go. Really great piece of gear if you're trying to pare down your coffee stuff. Comes in a bunch of different colors. You have white, you have this teal green here, and you also have, I believe, black or space gray. But go and check it out on Amazon or even on their website, and you'll be able to see all the different color options that are out there. Really liking this piece of gear here. Now up next are locks from a company called Bolt, and a lot of you probably know who they are. They specialize in locks that work with the stuff that we have as off-roaders, adventurers, overland, whatever you might want to call what we do. They make locks for our stuff. Locks for max tracks, locks for your high lift jack. They have a lock where if your trailer is stationary somewhere, you put a lock and no one will be able to take it away. Or if you're hooked up to the vehicle, there's a lock for that so that no one can just unhitch you and take your trailer away while you have it parked somewhere. Here I have two of their universal ones. They have a padlock and then the cable lock. Cable lock is really easy. This just kind of loops in like this, and then you put it through here like that, and then you'll be able to lock up whatever you want. What's cool about the bolt stuff is that all these can be keyed to your vehicle. So your car key can now open these. So instead of you having to bring an extra key around that opens this stuff up, you can just use your car key to do so. The kits that I have that they sent me are for Jeep, Dodge, and Ram, but I believe they have ones for Toyota now as well. I also love that these bolts are protected. They're covered in rubber. That way, if you're using this to like lock down max tracks or your high lift jack and you're basically hitting the trails, if you just get like a regular metal padlock from somewhere, those things can bang up against your vehicle and they can hit like the powder coating on some of your bumpers, or it might hit the actual paint itself and damage that. Well, these are all covered in rubber to make sure that not only is it pretty much weather sealed, but it's also going to protect your paint, protect your powder coating, or anything that this might bump onto. A lot of different options for locks, again, specializing for our gear in particular. So go on their website and check out their catalog and see which locks you might be needing. And that's it. See, not a lot in this video, but the stuff that I did showcase are pretty awesome, and I'm hoping that it gave you some ideas of gear that you might want to buy and get for yourself. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you don't smash, compile all the like buttons that I have on every single one of my videos until they become one big gigantic like button. Subscribe to our channel, click that notification bell so we can let you be aware of new videos when they come out. And if it moves you, support us on Patreon. It gives you access to all of our videos before everyone else and gives you access to our live streams when we do them. And as always, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at BeastofBurden4601. My name is Asia Sampson, and I will see you next time. So once in a while, I like to do these. My God, I keep forgetting the word. Not collaborate. So once in a while, I like to do these what the frick is the word?